O Lilac Bloom by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. O lilac bloom, strange that so slight a thing as thou is strong to roll away the stone from memory's grave, and set the dead past free, to claim again brief kinship with its own. Prefatory Note. Most of the poems contained in this volume have appeared during the past 10 years in Atlanta, Chambers Journal, London Society, Little Folks, The Girl's Own Paper, and other serials. If an apology for venturing to offer them to the public in collected form be deemed necessary, I can only urge the plea of the poor but hospitable dervish. He is a generous host who freely giveth his best, be his best but clear water and a crust. M.H.B., London, December 1892. End of poem and prefatory note. This recording is in the public domain. A Spray of Lilac by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. Pale cluster, thy faint perfume comes to me, laden with memories of long ago, and all the present dims as o'er my soul the waves of tender recollection flow. With spring's young blood again my veins are thrilled, my hands are stretched to meet the coming years. The world holds all the glory that it held ere yet mine eyes had looked on it through tears. With deftest fingers fancy weaves once more her fairy fabrics. Vast horizons glow with fires of promise, for behind their veils they hid rich treasures in that long ago. The subtle sweetness of the vanished days, the rapture of the old ecstatic bliss, all are mine, as once again I cling to ripe warm lips in love's first passion kiss. The long delicious summer slowly weaves for autumn's brows a crown of living gold. Sad winter follows with his winding sheet, for all the glory has grown gray and old. O lilac bloom, strange that so slight a thing as thou is strong to roll away the stone from memory's grave, and set the dead past free, to claim yet once brief kinship with its own. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
In an Old Garden by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. Yellow roses, purple pansies, tufts of heavy-headed stalks, either side the quaint old gateway, blazing torch-like hollyhocks. Sweet peas tossing airy banners, saintly lilies bending low, daisies powdering all the greensward with a shower of summer snow. Boxwood borders, yews fantastic, wallflowers that with every sigh spill such scent that e'en the brown bees reel with rapture, wondering by. And the pear trees, long arms stretching o'er the sunny gable wall, scarce can hold their ruddy nurslings, ripening where the warm beams fall. Oh, the ecstasy of living, how it thrills my life today! I can almost hear the flower bells tinkle where my footsteps stray. In a garden God first placed man, there first woke love's magic thrill, and methinks a breath of Eden clings to earth's old gardens still.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Mother's Grief by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Anna Shirey. To a great wide city all alone, long, long ago went our baby queen. No name but hers on the white headstone that gleams to the moon from its mound of green. None of her own did welcome her there, not a grain of kindred dust doth wave in the flowers that out of the tears of despair have arched a rainbow over her grave. Out from the shelter of loving arms, out from the warmth of a mother's breast, heedless of darkness and night's alarms, on to the silent city she pressed, to take her place 'mong the mighty throng that people its myriad streets. Ah me, I felt my God had done me a wrong when he loosed love's cords and set her free. And my passionate moan that broke in tears like a burdened wave on a desert shore seemed all too feeble to reach his ears, and the pain grew old that my bosom bore. But the faith that I once had thought mine own rose up to mock where it could not save, and my heart grew hard as the carven stone that was crushing my darling in her grave. Whenever a child's sweet flower-like face met mine, a sickness would o'er me creep, and I'd turn wild eyes to the lonely place where she was lying, alone, asleep. At strife was I with the world, and God had drawn around him an angry cloud. Earth held no green, but the churchyard sod, and the daisies were the gleam of a shroud. But a time there came when about my breast with a wandering touch small fingers stole, and feeble lips to its fountain pressed, and stirred with a vague sweet joy my soul. And the floodgates opened, and blessed tears of repentance fell from my eyes like rain. And after the barren and prayerless years, I knelt to the giver of all again. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Summer Memory by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. I remember an evening in one far June. The sun seemed loath to leave the sky to a young impatient moon. The yellow sands lay waiting for the sea's long cool embrace. We watched the ripples breaking like smiles upon its face. The green trees nestled closer to the broad breast of the hill. The twilight's glamour gathered, and the day was with us still. And a sadness born of beauty, and a joy to pain akin, touched all that lay without us, and hushed my soul within. A silence stepped between us. We seemed to stand apart. Yet I thought your eyes grew tender, and I know what filled my heart. But the words were never spoken, and the distance wider grew, till the world of waves was lying between me, love, and you. No bridge might ever cross it. I watched you turn away, and I went back to duty. 'Tis all a woman may. But I never shall be nearer the thrilling heights of bliss, unless the next world gives us the love we lose in this. Than when in that far June time we seemed to stand apart, and I thought your eyes grew tender, and I knew what filled my heart.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Unsatisfied by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Megan Ray. Oh, dear dead days that dearer grow. I look behind and throw my tears across a wide, wide gulf of years. I see you now, and now I know. When I was yours, you mine, alas! I did not know your real worth, and, longing for the future's birth, found time so slow to pass. The joys I hoped for never came, while those I held slipped from my clasp, as I stretched yearning hands to grasp shadows. 'Tis evermore the same. We strain dim eyes up to the stars, nor heed the blossoms at our feet. Like puny birds we beat and beat our lives out 'gainst fate's prison bars. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
My Song by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. When love is mine, said I'll make a song in praise of love that maketh life so sweet. One worthy such a grand and noble theme, worthy to lay at my beloved's feet. Pure, perfect pearls of poesy I'll string on music's silken thread, so rhythmic sweet that those who hear shall feel as though each word were but an echo of my heart's warm beat. Now love is mine, but where my boasted song? My heart is full, too full, ah me, for words, and yet methinks my new-found joy has lent fresh rapture to the voices of the birds. And I am dumb. The world will never hear the music filling all this life of mine. Oh, love is too sublime a theme for me. I can but kneel in silence at love's shrine.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
In An Old Churchyard by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. In one of England's sweetest spots, a little old grey church I've found. Around it lies, dear restful ground, God's garden with its sacred plots. With myriad arms the ivy holds its time-worn walls in close embrace, so memory sometimes keeps a face half veiled in tender misty folds. With sleepy twitter and with song, the tower bird-haunted is alive. In leafy seas they dip and dive, those tiny warblers all day long. Like sentinels grown hoar with age, the crumbling headstones guard the graves, which softly swell green voiceless waves that will not break though tempests rage. Concerning them that are asleep, in this sweet hamlet of the dead, in broken sentences I read the record those old tablets keep. Each told its tale, for hath not grief a voice whose echoes never die? Adown the ages Rachel's cry still rings o'er some God-garnered sheaf. Mine eyes, ne'er prodigal of tears, did fill with such as seemed to rise and drown the glory of the skies o'er those who'd slept the sleep of years. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Secrets by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by RileyH. July roses wet with rain tap against the window pane. There is something they would seek, had they voices and could speak. Silence seals their crimson lips, and the dull rain drops and drips. The other side the streaming glass stands a little sad-eyed lass. There is something she would seek, but a maiden may not speak. Silence seals her longing lips, and the dull rain drops and drips, and salt tears and showers stain her side of the window pane, and the crimson roses grow, pale as dreams dreamt long ago. Hearts may break behind sealed lips, and the dull rain drops and drips. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Revealed Not Spoken by Mary Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Emmi Kranz. The little maiden that I love I met in yonder lane. A flood of sunshine seemed to fall around her as she came. Methought the very hedgerows took a tender, livelier green, and blossoms burst from every bud as she passed on between. And gladder, madder, merrier notes a skylark round him threw, as high above her golden head he poised amid the blue. I meant to tell her all my heart, and yet I know not why, upon the threshold of my lips the story seemed to die. It might have been the witchery, the magic of her smile, that in a spell held all my soul, and kept me dumb the while. It might have been that all too pure, for earth-born love seemed she. From her white hide of maidenhood, how could she stoop to me? But eyes can prove more eloquent, and though the tongue may fail, in potent language they reveal the old, old tender tale. For placing her slim hand in mine, methought I heard my name, so softly murmurously breathed, I scarce knew whence it came. No need for words between us now, a subtle sweetness stole through all our being, and we felt that soul had answered soul. And with the sunshine in our hearts, the birdsong in our ears, we left the lane, my love and I, to meet the coming years. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Buried Treasures by Mary Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Emmi Kranz. 'Tis true my later years are blessed with all that riches can bestow, but there is wealth cannot buy, hid in the minds of long ago. Their jealous guard does memory keep, yet sometimes when I dream alone, she comes and takes my hand in hers, and shows me what was once my own. I revel among such precious things, I count my treasures o'er and o'er. I learn the worth of some whose worth, ah me, I never knew before. And then all slowly fades away, and I return to things you know, with empty hands and tear-filled eyes, back from the minds of long ago. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Affinity by Mary Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Emmi Kranz. But little converse have we held, our hands have scarcely ever met. With just a formal word or two, you come and go, and yet, I have a dream we two were one, ere garb of flesh these spirits wore. The soul that speaks within your eyes tells mine they've met and loved before. And so I am content to wait, knowing the day will surely dawn, when, as the first man woke, you'll wake from your soul sleep, and looking on my face will know that I am she, your Eve, your other self, your fate. Till then, come weal or woe, I am content to wait. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. My House is Left Unto Me Desolate by Mary Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Emmi Kranz. A little while, you say, a little while, and I shall be where my beloved are. And with your eyes aglow with faith, you say, thy dear ones have not journeyed very far. Not very far, I say it o'er and o'er, till on mine ear mine own voice strangely falls, like some mechanic utterance that repeats a meaningless refrain to empty walls. Not very far, but measured by my grief, a distance measureless as my despair, when from the dreams that give them back to me, I wake to find that they have journeyed there. Not very far, the soul surmises, hopes, has hoped surmising since the first man slept, but oh, the heart it knoweth its own loss, and death is death, as 'twas when Rachel wept. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
An Old Man's Dream by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. With idle hands and misty eyes, I sit alone tonight and dream. Upon the hearth, like elfin sprites, the red flames dance and twist and gleam. A dimness gathers in my room. The pictured faces on the wall, pale, and o'er each familiar thing a strangeness slowly seems to fall. With noiseless step there comes to me one whom I loved in days gone by. The same as she, unchanged by time. Unchanged, but oh, how changed am I! Her hair, which long, long years ago was like spun threads of living gold, still clusters round a brow that wears immortal youth, and I am old. No look of recognition lights her eyes that meet mine o'er and o'er, and yet she loved me once, and love, I know, is love for evermore. She looks around in anxious quest. I think I know for whom she seeks. She only sees a strange old man with snow-white hair and wrinkled cheeks. And then, like wings of birds that preen for flight, a soft stir moves the air. It is the whisper of her gown. She goes to look for me elsewhere. A sudden glory fills my eyes. It is the firelight's ruddy gleam. Thank God she did not pass me by. I only saw her in a dream. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Summer Wooing by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Emmi Kranz. Up and away, up and away. The hedgerows are foaming with blossoms today. Its bonfires the golden gauze lights on the hill, and the wanton winds wooing wherever it will. Up and away, up and away. The cuckoo's name rings through the woodlands today. The warm blood of summer runs rioting through the veins of each leaflet, then why not of you? Up and away, up and away. There's passion and poetry stirring today. Half blinded with rapture, the heavy bees start from the lily's white breast to the rose's red heart. Up and away, up and away. The old world's begun a fresh courting today. I wooed you all winter, but found you as cold as the snowdrift that gleamed on the ridge of the wold. Up and away, up and away. Your eyes tell me yes, though your lips say me nay. The tears so long frost-bound are ready to flow, and she melts in my arms, my proud maiden of snow. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Wee Elsie by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. Oh, Ah's the bonny wee bit lassie, as e'er I've kent, not ane surpasses my Elsie. And oh, she has sic dainty ways, old furrant as she does and says. Just watch the bairnie as she plays at mither, dressed in mither's clays. Like twa sweet rosebuds on a stalk, her lips part in her guileless talk. She holds a key that would unlock your heart weren't hard as granite rock. Say fearless after een own blue, they seem to look ye through and through. But though so brave and frank and true, wi' happy fun they're brimming full. Adown her shoulders floats her hair, sae long, sae silken, and sae fair. In truth it seems a verra snare that's caught and kept a sunbeam there. But better far those graces meet around a nature just as sweet. Methinks the bairnie is complete, frae wise we heed tae willing feet. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Bide Wi Mither by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. Oh, bide a wee, my bonny lass, nor seek to leave the old hame nest. Of all earth's loves ye yet will find, a mither's highest is, and best. She watched you like a rose unfold, she reads you like an open book. You scarce need speak, she is sae quick to understand your every look. And hand that I fan time to pat the wee bit face sae aft turned up, for mither's kiss has work it late and early for your bite and sup. And oh, it was a struggle sair to make twa unco scrimp ends meet. In her first days o' widowhood, she scarce could spare the time to greet. Oh, dinna leave her yet a while, the laddie's young and he can wait. There was a time when you were wee, she micht ha' had another mate. But she was fair he micht na be as good the feyther you had lost. And though she could hae booked her ease, she wouldna dare it at the cost. And now she's old and growing frail, your strong young arm should be her stay. Life's doonward sloop is hard enough, be yours the hand to smooth the way. Oh, bide wi her, and you will find that duty done brings sweet reward. The Master Christ pleased na himself, although he was creation's Lord. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Child Angels by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by RileyH. Oh, there are happy angels that go on missions sweet. They have no wings to bear them, just little human feet. When I had grown a-weary and all my faith was dim, 'twas one of them that led me and brought me back to him. When 'tween you and a loved one there lay a widening breach, and you were coldly drifting beyond each other's reach. A child's hand 'twas that bridged it, a child's soft rosy palm held both your souls united, and life grew sweet and calm. When sorrows closely gathered, and heart and head were bowed, the blue eyes of a baby made rifts in pain's dark cloud. Oh, happy earth-born angels, who go on missions sweet, if ye had wings to bear you, instead of little feet, I fear me ye would use them, although ye love us much, to soar to him who tells us his kingdom is of such. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. My Love of Long Ago by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by RileyH. There are faces just as perfect. There are eyes as true and sweet. There are hearts as strong and tender as the heart that ceased to beat. There are voices just as thrilling. There are souls as white, I know, as hers was when she went from me. My love of long ago. New lips are ever telling the tale that ne'er grows old. Life's grays are always changing, for some one into gold. But amid the shine and shadow, amid the gloom and glow, she walks with me, she talks with me, my love of long ago. When I think of all the changes that the years to me have brought, I am glad the world that holds her is the world that changes not. And the same as when she left me, she waits for me, I know. My love on earth, my love in heaven, my love of long ago. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
In Summertime by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Megan Ray. Daisies nod and bluebells ring, streamlets laugh and songbirds sing, to the clover bees close cling. Cornfields lave their locks of gold, poppies burn and wings unfold, earth stars twinkle on the mold. Butterflies, live blossoms, blown from that Eden once our own, make of every flower a throne. And a royal purple dyes yonder heather hill, that lies fitting footstool for the skies. And the gorse is all ablaze, lighting up the moorland ways, and the days are golden days. E'en the myriad-mooded sea, earth-bound, yet that earth more free, wears a look of constancy. And your love, that in the spring was a shy, uncertain thing, like a bud just blossoming, with the summer's growth has grown till our two lives, lived as one, make a summer of their own. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Twin Sisters by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Emmi Kranz. Two girls before me now they stand, twin tender rosebuds hand in hand, fashioned as one, scarce knowing apart. I see each face, God sees each heart. I look on ripe red lips and eyes that hold the blue of summer skies, and hair like finest gold refined. I see the beauty, God the mind. In womanhood's first faint sweet dawn, oh, they are fair to look upon. Perfect from crown to dainty foot, I see the bloom, God sees the fruit. What though a rose is each soft cheek, if theirs be not that spirit meek? What though their eyes are heaven's own hue, if never wet with pity's dew? The plainest casket may enshrine a gem that will forever shine. Oh, may this outward beauty be but type of inward purity. God grant when time its tale hath told, and backward swings the gates of gold, before the Master they may stand, twin tender rosebuds hand in hand. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. At Last by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Emmi Kranz. She is waiting for his coming as she waited long ago, ere her sweet eyes were pain-haunted or her hair was touched with snow, ere that look of patient pathos downward curved her tender lips, or across her life's young morning fell a shadow of eclipse. He is coming, but his footsteps know not now youth's bounding grace, and a world of sin and suffering is recorded in his face. Airy dreams of high ambition that he cherished in the past, all have vanished, and aweary he returns to her at last. In the old familiar garden, where he first breathed love's fond vow, with new hopes like the new roses, sprung from old roots they stand now. And the past is past forever, she forgives and he forgets, for the present peace has buried years of sorrows and regrets. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Trysting-Time by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Lawley. 'Tis only when the wooing west has drawn the tired sun to her breast, I seek my darling's place of rest. In twilight time we used to meet. Ah me, how lag our listless feet, when we have but a grave to greet. And yet this daisy dappled grave, so like a soft white crested wave, is all beneath the skies I have. On broken wings the years have flown, O love, since in the long agone I left you sleeping here alone. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Beside the Dead by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Lawley. Touch not her hand, let not your teardrops stain the snow-white purity of her dead brow. Withhold your lips their passion or their pain, can thrill her nor with love nor pity now. The empty years that followed your farewell, the joyless dawns, the nights that brought no rest, are ended, and those weary eyelids fell, or eyes that have grown dim in one vain quest. Thank God for this, her woman's faith remained, steadfast, unshaken to the very last, and with her idol underfaced, unstained, to place it in a niche in heaven she passed. But yesterday your lightest whispered word had thrilled her heart as spring's first breath awakes the rapture in the bosom of a bird, till winter's silence with a song he breaks. And I, whose love for her was purified in the fierce crucible of human pain, have felt that I was more than satisfied if loss of mine had ended in her gain. For her soul's sustenance you only left the memory of a lightly plighted vow. To take one kiss from those dead lips were theft. The jewel was yours, I claim the casket now. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Her First Season by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Thea Hori. Cloud-like laces softly float round a dainty snow-white throat, fastened here and fluttering there with a careless, cunning care. Bluebells blue as summer skies are, or her own sweet sunny eyes are, cluster close beneath her chin, as if love and not a pin kept them fondly nestling in. Gown of some transparent thing, like a dragonfly's clear wing, full of whispers vague and sweet, falls in white folds to her feet. Light as moss veils drape their roses, round her flower-like form it closes, every graceful curve it shows us. Silken mittens soft and quaint, of a shade aesthetic faint, weave a jealous network o'er two pink palms that I adore, and a musical mixed jangle comes from bracelet and from bangle, as it fetters each slim wrist, made but to be clasped and kissed, with a fantastic coil and twist. Hair o-rippled like ripe corn, wind-kissed on a summer morn. What, you say you see the glint of a reaper's blue scythe in't? Nay, 'tis but a silver arrow, wandering through a golden furrow, where the sun shafts bore and burrow. Like a bright-plumed bird is she, from the home nest just set free, knowing neither grief nor wrong, in her heart and lips a song. 'Tis not I would wish to make her prim and drab-gowned like a Quaker. All fair things are beauty's dower. Doth not God's hand paint the flower? Youth is but a fleeting hour. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Anticipated by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Arnav Darnal. Oh, I have wealth, and could have placed upon your head a golden crown, but nature, having had my taste, and being first, has set one down. I could have given you rubies rare, and sapphires of a heavenly hue, and pearls all shimmering, soft and fair, but here she has been before me too. For ruby lips to you she's given, and strung 2 pearly rows between, and sapphire eyes more blue than heaven, she's dyed you with, my queen, my queen. I needs must be content to lay my heart's best treasures at your feet. Without love's gem which shines for aye, the fairest crown were incomplete. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
When Thou Art Near by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Cavaet. When thou art near, no other face I see. Thy voice is all the music I can hear. My heart's desire is granted unto me. When thou art near. When thou art near, I am content. Nay more, I'm blessed in breathing the same atmosphere. To higher heights my aspirations soar. When thou art near. When thou art near, though yet I dare not lay my lips on those I hold so very dear, I know that heaven is not so far away. When thou art near. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Portrait by Me Hedderwick Browne, read for LibriVox.org by RileyH. A sadness lingers round her lips, a shadow ever haunts her eyes. Like dusky pools are they on which the mystery of the moonlight lies. Her voice is sweet but grave in tone, no ring hath it of joyous mirth, yet somehow when she speaks, methinks, a benediction falls on earth. A sense of rest her presence brings. She moves with such a quiet grace, and 'tis this pitying soul within makes tender twilight of her face. Methinks the Virgin Mother must have looked like this when to her breast the babe who was to save the world with mingled joy and pain she pressed. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Dorothy by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox by Laurel Drobits. April 13th, 2023, Raleigh, North Carolina. Dorothy. Dorothy is debonair. Little count hath she or care. All her gold is in her hair. And the freshness of the spring round this old world seems to cling when you hear her laugh or sing. On her sunny way she goes, much she wonders, little knows, love's as yet a folded rose. All her smiles in dimpled eye, glad is she, nor knows she why, just to live is ecstasy. Lightly lie the chains, methinks, that have daisies for their links, youth the fount where pleasure drinks. Dorothy is debonair, little count hath she or care, sunshine in her heart and hair. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Daffodils by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by mleigh. Oh, wild is the daffodil's dance to the tune that the March pipes blow. Heads a-tossing, lances crossing, curtsies sweeping and low. Like waves in a flaming sunset, they tumble and twist and turn. What though from its slender pillar droppeth one golden urn? Short-lived is their joy and reckless, never a pause for breath. Ah, well, are we too not whirling, as blind in our dance of death? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Blackbird by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by AMB-Sweet13. When baby birds begin to shoot, then hey, the blackbird's golden flute. All steeped in love seems every note let loose from his mellifluous throat. No wild rhapsodic bursts proclaim what rapture thrills his tiny frame. His heart is like a brimming cup, where pearls of joy keep bubbling up. The lark, like some delirious thing, at heaven's far gate may soar and sing. But oh, methinks the blackbird brings heaven down to earth what time he sings. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Whom the Gods Love Die Young by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Lynda K. Arndt. Her voice is hushed, her hands are still. I from the summit of the hill look down and marvel at God's will. Her foot was planted at the base, all eager for the upward race, her genius shining in her face. She felt the soul within her leap. She yearned to scale the steepest steep, and now she's fallen upon sleep. God knoweth best. I must descend the downward slope. Goodbye, sweet friend. Life's myriad ways meet in the end. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Granny's Bairn by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. When we Elspeth's in the house, I scarce hae use o' hands or feet. And after all, why should I fash, when she's sae nimble and sae fleet? I wonder wha I laid my specs, the words hae hardly left my mouth. Afore I fin across my nose, she has them set astride forsooth. She thrids my needle, winds my wool, picks up the steeks that whiles will drop. She slips aboot like some wee moose, for fear she'll wake me from my nap. Her wee three-legged stool you'll fin drawn up close to Granny's chair. She learns her task and sews her seam, and sups her cog o' porridge there. And mony's the lang crack we twa ha, but whiles sic puzzling things she'll speer, the very minister himself would be dumbfounded could he hear. She has her bit camastry turns, but just enough to show that she is no a being that is made o' different clay to you and me. But that she's no by ordinary wean, the neighbours round about agree, and say ye ken it is nae just my ain opinion that I gie. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Love's Power by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org. When you did leave me, love, the whole world seemed with you to ebb away, and like a broken stranded wreck I lay. But you returned, and lo, a fresh tide thrilled my life's deserted shore, and love was conqueror over death once more. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A June Memory by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by B.H.F. Russell. April 16th, 2023, Springfield, Illinois. 'Twas June, the roses were raining in regalious splendor and pride. Sweet peas, like butterflies tethered, were fluttering on every side. Like smoldering fires, the wallflowers burned, dull in the sun's strong glow. And the yellow bees, like meteors, went flashing to and fro. No lordly pleasaunce was it, but an old-world garden wild, where purple-hooded pansies and long-lashed daisies smiled. And there in June we parted, and the sad years hurtle by, like birds whose wings are broken when they just have learned to fly. And I think, do you remember, in the life that's yours today, that garden and its glamour, and the time that would not stay? Oh, amid the faces around you, does one face never arise, and for a moment hold you, with the old spell of its eyes? Ah, no, you men forget us, and we must be dumb, and life's June goes forever, and the snows of winter come. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Message by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Nancy Beard. In a little broken flower pot, high up on a window sill, mid grime and gloom and squalor, grew a golden daffodil. It seemed in the gloom of the alley like a sunbeam that had strayed out from the light of heaven into a land of shade. And close in a cage beside it, a skylark sweetly sang, till all the narrow alley with its wild rapture rang. And one poor weary sinner paused as her wild eyes turned to where on its humble altar the flower flame upward burned. And something stirred in her bosom, 'twas the heart that had long lain dead, as the bird's song rose from its prison in the shadow overhead. God's angels are birds and flowers, and oh, methinks they preach, at times with a power and pathos we men can never reach. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Her Window by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox by Laurel Drobits. April 13th, 2023, Raleigh, North Carolina. Her Window. Up the gable the roses creep, eager to get a little peep behind the curtain of snowy lace that hangs like a bridal veil over the face of a shy wee window whose panes glint through a network of creepers like eyes of blue. I needs must stand below, and see them high and higher go, till their lips are kissing the lattice sill, and their tendrils toy at their own sweet will, with the casement so full of tender charms, since her shadow has lain within its arms. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Shattered Hopes by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by B.H.F. Russell. April 16th, 2023, Springfield, Illinois. This morn upon the birken tree, the mavis carol blithe and free. But ah, his song was not for me. Each wild note of his glad refrain pierced like an arrow through my brain. I could have cursed him for his strain. I saw the sunshine and the flowers, each proof of a creator's powers. Yet dull and hateful were the hours. I cannot weep, the fever dries, the tears within my burning eyes. The past before my vision flies. Once more I feel his deep-drawn kiss. Once more my being thrills with bliss. Once more I melt with tenderness. I hear the trembling words that hung, deep fraught with passion on his tongue, till heart and soul with pain are wrung. All natural smiles, and yet today, in memory's grave I've laid away, my idol that has turned to clay. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Hand in Hand by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org. Hand in hand through the flowery ways went Dora and I in the bygone days. A wee girl she, her boy lover I, ready to fight for her and die. Hand in hand through this vale of tears went Dora and I in the after years. She was my wife, and her husband I, ready to fight for her and die. Hand in hand to the very last, as her dear eyes dimmed and her spirit passed. An angel is she, alone am I, ready, O God, and I cannot die. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
And For the Weary Rest by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Agnes Robert Bear. Of all God's precious promises, the sweetest and the best is that to the weary-laden ones who come he giveth rest. 'Tis not of glad hosannas and streets of shining gold we think so much when we are sick and sorrowful and old. Ah, there are times we feel too sad to contemplate the joy, the great and glorious themes of heaven that angel minds employ. And weak and worn and weary, we long to lay us down, feeling we scarce could bear the weight of e'en a glory crown. That he's very man I need none other proof than this, that he has rest for those who feel almost too tired for bliss. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
In an Old Orchard by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by B.H.F. Russell. April 16th, 2023, Springfield, Illinois. Sweet avalanches of scented snow bury one deep as I lie below. The laden white boughs abloom and ablow in the dear old orchard where long ago my grand dame dreamed as I'm dreaming now. with love in her heart and youth on her brow. O blossom time passes too soon, and gray night follows the golden noon. And autumn, though ruddy, brings ruin and rune, and passion ne'er warms the cold heart of the moon. So let me dream on mid the apple blossoms sweet, for noontide and bloomtide are fair as their fleet. And then when the blue of the sky is overcast, and summer is ended, and harvest is past, and the loosened leaves earthward are fluttering fast, and the sleep that is dreamless is mine at last. O make my grave here, and lay me to rest, where the sweet-scented snow shall fall light on my breast. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
By the Sea by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Chris M. I think, as the white sails come and go, of the welcomes loud and the farewells low, of the meeting lips and the parting tears, of the newborn hopes and the growing fears, of the eyes that glow and the cheeks that pale, as the hazy horizon's mystic veil is silently parted, and to and fro the white sails come and the white sails go, and a gray mist gathers and all grows dim, as I watch alone by the ocean's rim. For a dream is mine, ah me, ah me, that salt with tears is the salt, salt sea. O yearning eyes and outstretched hands, O divided lives and divided lands, as long as the waters ebb and flow, shall the white sails come and the white sails go. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Regret by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org. It might have been is the sad refrain that forever haunts my weary brain, till heart and soul grow weak with pain. It might have been are the words I hear in the curlew's cry from the lonely mere, in the whisper of leaves when woods are sere. It might have been, says the sea's long moan, as if a breaking heart of its own wailed out in that strange low undertone. It might have been, ah, the hungry cry as the leaden years crawl slowly by. It will ring through my life till I die, I die. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Was Me by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. Around my bit buildie the cold wind is soughing, the dull rain is pattering among the dead leaves, the mist wreaths are swirling about the grey mountains, the wee drucket birds huddle close neath the eaves. Along the bree shore the lane sea gangs are sobbing, like some wandered bairnie that fain would win hame. I seeking and seeking, and never yet finding, sure man in his pilgrimage here is the same. The sky has nae promise, the earth holds nae pleasure. I look north and south, and I look east and west, and I envy the folk in the kirkyard out yonder, for there, 'mang the mools, there is rest, there is rest. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Reason Why by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. I ken the lass is winsome, and blithe as she is braw, but 'tis not worth nor beauty that steal the heart awa. Her cheek is like the wild rose, her lips are like the haw, but neither ane nor tither 'twas that stole my heart awa. Her locks are black as midnight, her brow like driven snow, and yet 'twas na these, I vow, that stole my heart awa. Her smile is like the sunshine, 'twould gar an iceberg fa, but 'twas na this, by my good faith, that stole my heart awa. Ilk's lad lass the fairest is, for beauty kens nae law, though some folk mun be easy pleased, was heart of stone awa. Ah, weel, maybe the pearl I've found is no without a flaw, but just because she's her ain self, she stole my heart awa. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Down by the Sea by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Chris M. O mighty organ of 1,000 keys, o'er which the master's fingers ever stray, I, listening, hear a myriad melodies played in the space of one short summer day. The long low plash of little languid waves, the sweet sad dirge of softly dying swell, the deep delicious gurglings in the caves hold music that this soul of mine loves well, full as the human heart of mysteries, like it responsive to his touch alone, for only he can wake the harmonies which sleep within thy bosom and mine own. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Venture by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org. Her mouth looks like a scarlet flower, and I feel like a hungry bee. I long to dart straight to its heart, but what would be the fate of me? The bravest 'tis should win the prize, and yet I dare not risk her scorn. And who but knows the reddest rose may hide the very sharpest thorn? Yet who can tell but she might yield its sweetness up in one long kiss? So I, who dare not risk her scorn, can risk still less to lose such bliss. And when she feels my parched lips athirst with long, long years of drouth, she will forgive me, that I sought that dewy chalice, her sweet mouth. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Water Lilies by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Thea Hori. A fleet of fairy vessels all freighted with pure gold, the lilies lie at anchor on the lake's breast calm and cold. Their soft white sails seem waiting the zephyr's first faint kiss, to waft them to another world more bright and fair than this. Methinks it were no marvel if I should find one day They drifted from their moorings and in silence sailed away. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Sentinel by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by A&B Suite 13. Tick, tick, tick goes the old clock in the hall. The merry hours, the mournful hours, alike he counts them all. As he stands erect at his post, Time's solemn sentinel. All that he hath to say he saith, and on with never a pause for breath. He hurries us nearer the day of death, though his warning voice is ofttimes drowned in the whir as the wheels of life run round. Yet whether or no we hear the sound. Tick, tick, tick goes the old clock in the hall. The merry hours, the mournful hours, alike he counts them all. As he stands erect at his post, Time's solemn sentinel. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Love Song by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by A&B Suite 13. Upon a blossom snowy white, a little dimpled chin drops down, while trembling shy lids hide the light of love new-born in eyes dark brown. A tiny timorous hand seeks mine, for shelter fluttering like a dove, and with a rapture half divine, I burn my kisses through its glove. June's rosy treasures sweetly blend upon her cheek and modest brow, but only Cupid's self could lend the crimson stealing over them now. Her voice makes music of my name, a heaven of love is in her smile, her pure mind, like an altar flame, burns clear and steady all the while. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Autumn by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by mleigh. Red as blood is autumn's gown, and a flaming fire her crown, and her fingers sear and scorch, each one a destroying torch. Fever follows in her wake, nor the dews her thirst can slake. In her kisses there is death, and decay in every breath. She makes tombs of what were bowers, strewn with corses of dead flowers. To the loftiest leaves that wave, she but whispers of a grave. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Quaker Maid by Me Hedderwick Browne, read for LibriVox.org by RileyH. Just a pair of green-gray eyes, with the knack of changing, like the sea when shine and shower o'er its breast arranging. Just a pair of green-gray eyes, each one a heartbreaker. Who would think that they belonged to a little Quaker? Prim her bonnet, drab her gown, and she walks sedately, with a sort of lily mien, drooping and yet stately. And her voice sounds, oh, so meek, thou and thee and thine. Yet the while those gray-green eyes seem to be belying all these airs of calm repose, this sad suit and sober. Why should spring's young sapling be brown-leaved like October? Gown her in the lily's white, crown her curls with roses, wreath her neck with daisy chains, fill her hands with posies. Laughter-loving green-gray eyes, young limbs girt with gladness. How they mock this dismal drab livery of sadness. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Time, the Place, the Beloved by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. You and I among the roses, you and I and love and June, all without and all within us, set to one sweet happy tune. You and I among the roses, drowsy bees go blundering by, mid the tresses on your temples, little breezes swoon and die. You and I among the roses, overhead a sapphire dome, 'neath our feet a sea of emerald, flecked with daisies for its foam. You and I among the roses, 'tis for love the time and place, what a world of rapture can be crowded into one small space. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Daydreams by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by T.M. West. I am dreaming of you, beloved, in my home among the hills. Your eyes meet mine in every flower. Above the highest height you tower, yet the glamour of your presence the lowest valley fills. I hear your voice in the river that sings on its way to the sea, and when the wind sweeps over the low beds of the clover, 'tis the breath of my beloved its wide wings bear to me. I am dreaming of you, beloved, but though sweet these daydreams be, 'tis the deeper dreams of sleeping that restore you to my keeping, and so the world of shadows is the dearest world to me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Song of the Seasons by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by T.M. West. Sing, oh sing, 'tis summertime, sing it 'mong the roses, sing it till each sleeping bud, dewy-eyed, uncloses, sing it through the woodlands till all the songbirds hear it, sing till every blade of grass finds a voice to cheer it. Sigh, oh sigh, 'tis winter drear, sigh it through the flowing shroud that over earth's dead breast falls in time of snowing. Sigh it through the bare brown stems that once held the roses. Sigh it round the grave that o'er summer's glory closes. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
One Summer Day by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by A&B Suite 13. The sky stretched blue above us. The sea slept at our feet, as still as if its mighty heart had almost ceased to beat. A trembling hush seemed slowly across the earth to steal, as when after benediction the priest and people kneel. It was as though God's finger lay on the pulse of life, and stilled for one brief moment its tumult and its strife. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Inscrutable by Marie Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Josiah. A glad young girl, amid the sunshine flitting, like a bright bird let loose from paradise. A weary woman, in the shadow sitting, with haggard face and dry, despairing eyes. The one in death's dark chamber now is lying, stricken to marble, her warm pulsing breast, and God denies the luxury of dying to the sad soul whose one cry is for rest. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Delilah by Me Hedderwick Browne, read for LibriVox.org by Josiah. Why comest thou with those grand eyes of thine, to lure me, as the cruel light the moth, to my destruction? Long ago my wrath cooled its white heat in pity's depths divine. There was a time when full of bitter hate I could have crushed thee. But that time is past, and though I needs must love thee to the last, tempt me not now. It is too late, too late. Apart forevermore our paths must lie. Such love as thine can only bring a curse. I would be better for my love, not worse. So go, while I have strength to say goodbye. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Baby's Grave by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by mleigh. I could not lay her down to sleep in a death-crowded place, with grim black yews to keep God's sun from shining on her face. With softest, greenest moss I lined for her a little nest. No crushing marble slab I laid upon her tender breast, nor iron rails like prison bars her sacred form enclose. The sternest guardian of her grave is just a fragile rose. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Child's Favorite by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by AMB Suite 13. Only an old wooden dolly, with an arm and a leg a-missing. The point of her nose rubbed off, I suppose, through too much washing or kissing. In a frock of faded satin, with tinsel lace tarnished and tattered, her coal-scuttle bonnet holds, alas, a head that's a trifle battered. Oh no, she has not lost her locks. She never had curls black or golden. A doll's wig was safely painted on in the days that you call olden. You laugh and think her too funny, yet once she was just as much cherished as your dolly is by a wee girl whose dolly days long ago perished. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Rich or Poor by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by mleigh. Only a string of cold white pearls, or diamond drops like frozen tears, has clasped my lady's slender neck through all the barren, empty years. Only wee warm white baby arms have clasped my neck through the sweet years. Yet she is rich and I am poor, or so it to the world appears. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Dolly's Garden by Me Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Lawley. Dolly's Garden. This is Dolly's garden, all her very own. Every flower that's in it, by her hand, was sown. Never out of Eden were such blossoms blown. Like her eyes those pansies, deep and dark and blue, as her soul those lilies, pure and white and true. Frail earth flowers and fading, Dolly's fading too. This was Dolly's garden, here I stand alone. Dolly's tending blossoms near the great white throne. Dolly now has heaven for her very own. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. In a Dream Ship by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Lawley. In a dream ship, she sailed away one summer day in a ship of shining shell. Her cloak was a butterfly's gauzy wing, her bonnet a big blue bell. Her bed was a lady's slipper, her blankets the leaves of a rose, and a cushion of thistledown had she, just to rest her tiny toes. With golden oars from the earth's dark shores, she was borne o'er a silvery sea, and she never feared as the captain steered for the land where she wished to be. And this was the song, as they drifted along, that she sang from the ship of shell. Oh, we are bound for enchanted ground. It's there that the fairies dwell. But a storm swept over the silver sea, and the little maid awoke, as against the side of a fair frail bark a cruel billow broke. And she rubbed her eyes, and she pinched her arm, and fearfully peeped around. But instead of a ship for fairyland, she had boarded a homeward bound. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Flower Queen's Fall by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Lawley. The Flower Queen's Fall. A rebel rose climbed to the top of the hedge and watched the people go up and down the winding highway, dusty and grey, that stretched from the village away to the town. And an angry surge in her passionate heart 'gainst the humble garden where she was born, and her red lips curled at the old flower world, and she cast around her such looks of scorn, that the lilies drooped near her withering glance, and the pansies huddled together with fear, and the poor pinks paled, and each daisy quailed, and dropped from her lashes a big round tear. For of the flower kingdom this rose was queen, and never were subjects more loyal than they, and they fondly dreamed she was good as she seemed, and because they had loved, they were proud to obey. But lo, as she towered in haughty disdain high over their heads with an angry gust, the wind swooped down and tore off her crown, and its jewels went whirling away with the dust. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Veteran by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Lawley. In his niche in the hall the old clock stands, but hushed is his voice, and still are his hands. He ceased from his labours long years ago, and he's only a pensioner now, you know. He did his duty as long as he could, for a brave heart beat in his breast of wood, and you could depend on all he said, till age at last turned him queer in the head. with a visor of glass o'er his grim old face. In his armour a straight, stiff, oaken case. He stands at ease in his sentry box, and leaves time telling to younger clocks. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
When and Where by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Angela. I wonder when and I wonder where the angel of death will come, and laying a finger on lids and lips will strike me blind and dumb. I wonder when and I wonder where, like the skeleton at the feast, mid laughter and mirth this thought finds birth, where it is welcome least. I wonder when and I wonder where, in my prime or old age hoar, at home with my loved ones round my bed, or alone on an alien shore. I wonder when and I wonder where, is God not over all? He knows the time and he knows the place, who marks a sparrow's fall. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. When and Where by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Angela. I wonder when and I wonder where the angel of death will come, and laying a finger on lids and lips will strike me blind and dumb. I wonder when and I wonder where, like the skeleton at the feast, mid laughter and mirth this thought finds birth, where it is welcome least. I wonder when and I wonder where, in my prime or old age hoar, at home with my loved ones round my bed, or alone on an alien shore. I wonder when and I wonder where, is God not over all? He knows the time and he knows the place, who marks a sparrow's fall. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. When Love is Young by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Angela. The red and russet of autumn die, in the lap of winter their ashes lie, and the earth is wan and grey the sky. But the noon of a wondrous joy is mine, and my pulses thrill with the glowing wine that flows from the grape of love's deathless vine. What care have I that the brown stems bear, nor leaf nor bloom, and the mad winds tear the last poor tatters the forests wear? Is not the heart in mine own glad breast a garden of roses, a haven of rest, a bird that has builded a warm love nest? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Character Sketch by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by B.H.F. Russell. April 16th, 2023, Springfield, Illinois. Womanly sweet in all her ways, slow to condemn and swift to praise, ready to help in hour of need, generous in thought as well as deed, pitiful, tender, yet firm and strong, to uphold the right and put down wrong. Never a thought of self or gain, proud of her God-given gifts, not vain. Laughter, loving, and fond of fun, when the daily round and task are done. Modest and maidenly, yet no prude. Perfect enough, but not too good. Half an angel, yet wholly human. No ideal, a living woman. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Friends by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Angela. We are such friends, my little girl and I, that though her summers number scarcely 9, I need none other as I go my ways, with her small fingers closely clasping mine. A little world we two make of our own, and people it with all things fair and sweet. The stars that twinkle overhead at night drop down at dawn in daisies at our feet. My smiles are hers, my tears are all my own. I keep my sighs and give her all my song. Because she is so trusting and so weak, I feel that I can suffer and be strong. The while I try to keep the narrow way, 'tis wide enough for both, and my white dove, with untried wings, knows little love but this, that mother is another name for love. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Bedtime by Hedderwick Browne. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. The sleepy daisies have said good night, and tied up their wee frilled nightcaps tight. The summer day's been hot and long, and daisies, although they are so strong, are always tired and ready for bed, ere the stars, heaven's daisies, awake o'erhead. The roses have rocked themselves to sleep. Awake they could no longer keep. They've been astir since the dawn of day, sighing their sweet perfume away, and feeding the hungry beggar bees that never say thanks nor if you please. And baby darling, 'tis time that you had shut your drowsy eyes of blue. We busy hands, we busy feet, must rest sometime, you know, my sweet. The flower bells all have chimed good night. They'll ring to wake you with the light. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. End of A Spray of Lilac and Other Poems and Songs by Hedderwick Browne.